That's what she said. Wow, are we actually going to start a show well?
We're off to a bad start already.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
When you ask a question, okay, do your thing.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Sheriff Sean.
I'm Jen. And?
This is DBAs at Midnight.
Because we're the Midnight DBAs.
Yes, we are. We're the Midnight DBAs.
Yeah.
I'm in a very odd mood tonight because I have to leave.
Why do you...
Do your thing first.
Today is Friday, October 15th, 2010. We have 35 groupies. We are approaching 1,000 followers on Twitter and 10,000 tweets, but we're not there yet.
Let's see.
And we're doing things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So tell us, why do you have to leave? Is it because you're leaving me? That's the thing I was going to do, the 11 o'clock news. Sean is leaving after this. Could it be that... blah, blah, blah. Nah, it's not worth it.
You should have had him put up a poll. Why does Sean leave? Why does Sean leave?
Put up a poll.
What? I'm about to tell him.
He said poll.
That put up a poll. Okay, so I'm leaving tonight because we have our big go live this evening. I've got to be there at 1. Well, probably a little before,
1 today?
Right? Yeah, no
You
kidding.
are so late.
But I've actually got to be there before 1 because my task is at 1. But we're doing our complete go live, and this is the weird thing. I'm just going to jump right into this, okay?
There's no sense in delaying.
Okay.
You do a dance.
A couple weeks ago, when we had that weird problem that made them, that we got on with Microsoft support for a long time and that made them reboot. I mean, blah, blah, blah. God, you're rubbing off on me. That made them rebuild both cluster servers, right? Because it was all 96 cores were spiking to 100% every 30 seconds. Just blip.
I told you the server has the hiccups.
Blip.
Wasn't that on an episode of Battlestar Galactica?
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Well, the problem is 10 days after we rebuilt the boxes, the blip came back.
Wow.
So we sat with Microsoft for a long time again, and they did one little thing, and it made it go away. But then again, we had to bounce the box, and bouncing the box made it go away last time too. So, you know what I mean?
Yep, I know what you mean.
So,
I know
anyway,
exactly what you mean.
That's what we've been dealing with this week, and then we undid the change and bounced the box again and let it run for 2 more days, and we haven't seen it again yet. So I'm not highly confident that the fix that they put in place is actually what fixed it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's our big 96 core, half terabyte RAM.
I got to see the
Windows R2 box with SQL R2 data center.
I got to see the task manager with all the cores just lined up. They're all really
Well, remember that Microsoft guy I was talking about last week that came out to check up on our work? He did the same thing. He was like,
oh, it's so pretty.
"You've never seen 96 cores, dude? Even I've seen like 128. Maybe even more." Remember, because they showed it up on the thing at PASS that time?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway. But yeah, so we got 96 cores in all of them.
I'm trying to figure out how to say that in German. 96.
In perfect unison. Looks like a heartbeat.
Hiccups. Server hiccups. So, yeah.
But anyway, we're doing the official cutover tonight. This runs our entire business. The system is wrought with problems.
That's not a good way
It
to
takes like
start.
a minute and a half to log in.
Oh. Why?
And the speculation is all over the place.
Oh dear.
But the company that owns the product hasn't really been very helpful in tracking and helping us track these things down. They don't seem to care.
Huh. Do they not support that version anymore or something?
It's the newest version. We're going to the newest version.
Well,
This is the new one.
I'm out.
So what gets me though is that the higher ups are forcing this. No, I don't care what the problems are. You go, well, yeah, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night.
Okay.
Right? And it would be one thing if we owned the software and as we discovered what the problems were, we could actually fix them and push them in. But we can't. It's not our software. We can't make these changes. And even if we discovered what was wrong, we would have to convince them to make the changes.
It is not.
Not ask them, convince them.
It has not been a good week for vendors. SQL Sarge actually had a guy nearly make him cry earlier this week.
Oh my God! What kind of DBA almost cries from a vendor?
Well, I'm sure he was exaggerating, but it's kind of funny to see an Army guy tweet that he wanted to cry when he was on the... He didn't elaborate, which is a shame. Everybody told him, oh, you need... Somebody actually said, you need to blog about it like Sean and link to your Voodoo post.
No.
And then
My word.
And then I had somebody, I think you actually wrote this down, I had somebody call me up and mispronounce DBA 3 times. We have this product that we'd like to tell you about. I said, okay, shoot. And so he told me a little about it. It's for DBAs. And I'm like, really? Okay. And I could tell that he was flustered off the bat because he knew he'd screwed up. And then I laughed at him on top of it. And the whole call just kind of went downhill from there. And, yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Tell me what.
This is a good time to get into that mini little rant of mine.
Isn't it though? You know how I just sort of put that out there for you to just jump on.
I like your style.
Go ahead.
I will chew me up some new sales reps.
Oh yeah?
I do not like having those greenhorn little assholes waste my time. You can't even pronounce DBA, and you're going to call me and tell me that you're going to solve my day-to-day management problems? You don't. What are my day-to-day management problems? Writing to school code and...
That's the thing. He didn't even have the wrap down for... I mean, he didn't have his wrap down for the product itself, and it was very clear that he was just a new guy. I don't know. Either I was amused or sympathetic or something. I'm going to go with amused, but...
But yeah, you better talk to me like you know what you're talking about. I mean...
It's really hard to take someone like that seriously.
Yeah, exactly. Because when I go to ask questions, if you can't even pronounce my job title, and I go to ask you questions,
my job
okay,
title is 3
well,
letters.
does it do this or does it do this? Most DBAs like the to squall done. Dude, shut up. Seriously, you're wasting my time. The best sales rep I've ever had was actually the guy from MCDA when he was selling Lightspeed. He didn't know a lot about SQL. He didn't know a lot about databases and DBA and all that. But he had his wrap down, and he had talked to enough DBAs, and he knew when to shut up. He didn't. Every time he called me, and he'd call me every couple weeks, every month, every something, right? But every time he called me wasn't to sell me something. He would call just to say, "Hey, dude, I'm just calling to see how your daughter's doing, or how the thing did, or just calling to see how you were doing. Y'all had that big project. Just wondering how." And and I knew he was just.
Yeah, absolutely.
I knew he was just keeping up
It's
because one
something
day he would
in a
get a
file,
sale, right?
Yeah.
But that's what wins clients, right? And we came out and we turned out to be really good friends, and I still talk to him every now and then. We still email back and forth every now and then in the car. Just pick up the phone and call him.
Is he that really, really big guy in Boston?
No, that was his boss, but Jason was one of his sales, and you've met Jason a couple times.
Yeah, I'm sure I have. I remember.
But it was the whole Jason, Derek, Walter thing. Yeah. And two of those other guys go on. Two of those other guys went on. The guys on the marketing side are the ones that work for Pragmatic now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's them. Not Derek. Derek's a CEO of some company now.
There was something about Pragmatic recently, wasn't it? Or were we just conjecturing about the event?
Well, we were just conjecturing about the event.
I'm trying to remember. It seems like there was something else too,
But yeah, vendors. Man, sales guys, when they call me up, they better...
Let's go ahead and give them a shout out. We're talking about Pragmatic Works.
Yes, Pragmatic. Good company, good people. And I don't say that about a lot of companies.
You really don't.
But I like Brian. I like Brian's style, right? Because he's not really pushy. His software works. I'm a big fan of Pragmatic's products because I'm a big SIS guy, as you know. And I will say, completely unprompted,
except by me,
except by you, that Pragmatic's apps, plugins, are the first products in a long time that actually save me time the way they say they will.
Wow.
There's one other product that saves me time the way it says it should, and the way it should, right? But the way they advertise it, the way they push it and cram it down your throat in the way they, you know, it's just, there are two vendors out there that can do that. BI Express by Pragmatic, and not just BI Express, right? BI Documenter is a badass little tool too. But BI
I've been meaning
Express,
to play with that.
but BI Express day to day, the stuff that I get out of it for SIS, absolutely fabulous. But what's the other one? What's the other tool that saves me time every
not
time
gonna
I
make a guess.
open the editor?
I'm not making a guess.
Every time I open the editor.
Oh, Redgate SQL Prompt.
Absolutely.
Love SQL Prompt.
Because you know why? I use the hell out of the alias. I've got...
You know, the only thing I ever, and I don't know why, I just haven't gotten there, but is the formatting. I know there's a lot more to SQL Prompt, but I adore the formatting.
The formatting is
so
fabulous,
much.
but you know, I do a lot of support, right? So I'm constantly having to look for blocking and lead blockers and locking issues, and I'm constantly having to look for other stuff, right? So I've got these, you know, DMV interdependencies can get like this long and stuff, right? Well, I can take that whole thing and assign it to a little alias. So I've got like I type in lead blocker tab, and it gives me this much code, and then I hit enter instead of having to open up a script every time, or instead of having to keep all that stuff in script, I can keep it in aliases, and then I just got it at my fingertips, man. I've got the one that takes SP lock, and you got to put it in a temp table, and you got to select so you can get the object names and all the databases, right? Because it just gives you the IDs. So, because the IDs do you nothing, right?
Yeah.
So I've got my little SP lock script that finally gives me the good information with the object names in there, and I just type in whatever it is I type in, and tab, and it just boom, and it just fills it, and then I just hit go. I mean, it saves me so much time, because I hate having to go through there and look through my hundreds of scripts and try to find the name of the thing and go through. It's BS. But yeah, use the alias feature. And
Yeah, I need to. I just haven't gotten around to it. I fell in love early on. I've got a few shortcuts that I put into everything. It comes with SP help, but then I do SP pins and a couple other things.
right.
That, oh my God, just
No, another thing that
do
they've
all
got
the
that's
time.
really cool is I forget what the feature is called, but it's in the same boat as the layout. That if you've got a whole team of coders and you're all going to be coding against the same tables, you can make the join alias is the same. So if you're joining customers to another table, you know it's clearly going to be aliased, right?
Sure.
So you can put in customers and tell what you want the alias to be. So every time they tap customers space, it'll automatically put that alias, so that everybody across the team
Oh, I
is using
see.
the same alias. So you get used to seeing the same thing. So I'm not calling it customer C, and you're calling it CU, and he's calling it CS, and he's calling it cust, and right? So you put the same thing, and everybody's using the same one. It makes the code easier to read. Eventually, once you get used to the aliases, it makes it much easier to read.
And we've got some
It's a
other,
cool little feature.
we've got some other tools that we're starting to look at right now that I'm going to hold off on because I'm just getting started. But
Okay. You as a company, I mean?
no, you and me. And there are a couple of things that we're looking at.
What is this? Oh, well, duh. I mean, I've got experience with that. I can talk about that.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just starting to look at it.
Yeah. But I did this, she just reminded me, I did this thing with Ignite a couple years ago. I was doing a review of Ignite for the magazine. Never actually got to do it because the magazine lost funding and all that. I mean, the magazine's still around, but they lost funding for all the external reviews.
We're still here. We just don't like you anymore. We
Yeah,
just lost
I know,
your
right?
funding somehow.
Yeah, exactly. But
Ow.
and Confio jumped through hoops to work with me, and they were absolutely fabulous. They threw a couple of their best people at me again and again and again, and worked with me and got everything up.
And you're
running.
like, no, I'm
And I was
married.
like, ooh,
Jeez.
ooh, ooh, ooh. But yeah, I liked Ignite. You know, it does what it does relatively well, and I like the documentation. I hear they're getting even better at the documentation, and I need to look at them again because I know that they've had at least a couple of versions out since I looked at them last. I would really like to get something for my environment. I have a huge environment, and I would like to get something. We're on BMC Patrol. It is such a piece of crap. Well, for one thing, by default, the alerts that we get it sends an alert that says, The database is in a warning state. The database
Okay.
is in an alarm state. And that's all the email says. I got 35
Just jump right
databases
on
on
that.
that server, right?
Yeah.
And then it says the database is okay. But then you look on there, and it's just because the database is in read-only, and it's always been in read-only. But now, for some reason, it decides to start alerting me.
Yeah,
And then
sure.
next week it stops, and then so on and so on. It's very unpredictable, and so it's in read-only. Since when is that an alarm state, right? But you could at least tell me what the alarm state is.
Hey, have we got anything going on chat-wise, Freddie?
They like your huge environment. It should be a pickup line.
Absolutely.
Hey, baby, you want to come take a look at my huge environment? See, that doesn't work for a woman.
Anybody remember this? Anybody remember this? Hey, baby, want to make it with a big name? Want to see my woofer and tweeter? No.
Damn, that's what it sounds like.
Anybody remember that? Want to see my woofer and tweeter?
No, that's not Keaton?
No.
Sure shit.
Not
Sure as
even
hell sounds like
close.
Keaton. Well, who is it then?
Well, we'll see if anybody remembers, but we'll keep going.
Okay.
So anyway, that's my rant on vendors.
But you kind of turned into a praise for vendors. Look at
Turned
you.
into a praise for
A
vendors.
kinder, gentler
A
shine.
kinder, gentler. I told you I was in a weird mood tonight.
I know. What's up with that?
I know.
Is he freaking people out? Are they crying?
We're like totally like freaking out and stuff.
I want to talk about, well, Cass, actually.
I was hoping you were going to talk about your sex week.
I can talk about sex week, absolutely. I had a
The
sex week.
MidnightDBA's magic week of sex, baby.
Actually, I called it the Sex Talk Week. Last week on SQL Server Central, we
Up there going, I love all you viewers. You know.
I had, somebody had, God, frick it.
Spit it out, man.
So last week on SQL Server Central, Steve Jones had 4 editorials from 4 different women on the differences between men and women, and it went relatively well. And then we got to the 5th day, and Steve Jones did a wrap-up. And he went through and he talked about a few things, and he was the first one to mention sex, which, you know, just struck me. I was like, well, wait a minute. None of us said anything. That's
Steve's
the
sex
biggest...
struck you?
Yeah. Oh, Roger, nice alliteration. But none of us had
Thank
even,
you, darling.
yes, had even paid any attention to the topic, and that's like the elephant in the room. If you're talking about, you know,
Elephant sex in the room. Nice.
if you're talking, that wasn't alliterative at all. So I decided to make this week Sex Week on the blog, and boy, I'll tell you what, that's an interesting
Hot topic.
That's an interesting topic to try to tap dance around and be straightforward on at the same time.
So why dance? Sorry, Wendy.
Because I'm American and reasonably repressed, at least when it comes to talking about sex.
No, you're not.
Yeah, publicly? Yeah,
Oh,
kind of.
publicly, okay.
Moving along.
Yeah, moving right along. But I think it went relatively well, and there was some good talk on it. We talked about it was last week's talk here that when I brought this up.
Pardon me.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Because we were talking about, you know, workplace stress is the biggest issue.
You know what bugs me the most?
What bugs you the most? That it
this
doesn't
thing-
close.
That I can see the thing here, and it does.
No.
You know how long I spent the other day trying to get the thing to close?
And I was actually kind of proud of everybody. We managed to get through the week without too much sniggering, and without anybody going. 2 weeks of talking about men and women and then sex, and nobody really went haywire. So,
I got a question.
what's your question?
Hey, Nadine. I got this really, really nice, heavy, good quality Microsoft pen,
It's like I'm talking to myself.
and this really nice quality LearnItFirst.com pen. Where are really nice Confio pens? How come I don't have any really nice Confio pens
Probably
in my
because you never asked.
Oh.
So anyway,
Anyway,
Sex Talk Week.
Sex Talk Week, yes. I'm a big fan, by the way.
On Sex Talk?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I for filter's sake, because a lot of companies don't want you reading blogs that have a lot of sex in them, I came up with a very clever acronym, 53X. And it was cute because everybody...
They'll never catch on to that.
I know, but everybody used it in the comments, and everybody was using 53X. It was really cute. That's all I got on that. So sex in the workplace. What do you think? But it was really timely because I had just watched the HR videos as part of my new hire.
Oh yeah, you were gonna
That
show me
was
those.
oh god, I didn't bring it home, but those were so great. The harassment, you never get to say this. My workplace harassment and discrimination videos were awesome. Seriously, this company,
so much harassment.
this company came in and did most of the examples with people that work at the company.
Well, sure. Otherwise, we'd have to pay actors.
Well, otherwise you just make the
Which
video
you might get a
once.
decent harassment video then.
But it was great because these people are so not actors, and it was so wonderful in a very B movie, Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of way. I mean, my absolute
Hey Jen,
favorite.
how would you like to come with me to the server room?
Why, Sean, what do you mean by that?
I mean, if you want to keep your job, you'll come put out in the server room.
Oh my. There actually was a boom mic. There really was.
We
But
got
it
a
was-
boom mic right there.
I know, but I didn't want to mess
Yeah.
with it. But yeah, it
Because
was.
you'll drop it or something.
It was just beautiful. My absolute favorite one, because they had gone over this and that. Now, and to be fair, it really was good from a practical standpoint. They had the legal department lady standing there reading cue cards as if she had never learned to read properly before. But she did her best. But
Really?
very, very clearly outlined what sexual harassment is, and that's one of the things that I went over on the Wednesday blog, MidnightDBA.com/Jen.
Case
And
doesn't matter anymore.
Case doesn't matter. Go, Freddie.
Much
Freddie.
love, Freddie.
I give you a Buzz Lightyear karate chop. Anyway,
Buzz Lightyear to the rescue.
so they really. But my absolute favorite bit was illustrating policies that are non-discriminatory on their face. So the company had a sign up that was like, no this, no hats, and a guy came in, and you only saw him from the back because apparently they couldn't get a Middle Eastern guy wearing a turban. But it wasn't a turban. It was, God, I wish I had something
Man,
here.
don't give me a Mexican with a sock on his head. Tell me it's a...
It was like they had taken toilet paper and just wrapped it around his head a couple times. It was that good. And I'm sitting at my desk just crying and pounding the desk.
Ed Wood would be proud of you.
I swear it was wonderful.
So
I wish I could share it with all of you.
On the racial sensitivity videos, do they have like busty women or scantily clad people on there?
What's that got to do with race?
They didn't,
Well-
because they could be black.
Well, they're
He's just hoping.
You mean sexual sensitivity.
they're putting fake turban. Never mind.
Okay, I got you, sort of. Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
Kinda, little
you
bit.
lost me, dude.
yeah. Moving on.
That's
No,
okay.
but I mean, the sketches themselves. I mean, they're amateurly acted and all that, but they were very clear and they made some really good points. So yeah.
Anyway, so what's going on in chat real quick?
Yes, tell me what's in chat.
Uh,
They're making fun of the turban guy, I'm sure.
M.
So-
Laden, that
Laden.
guy. Yeah, your buddy out there. He says he'd probably get fired a lot in America.
It's entirely possible, brother. It really is.
We have.
Now I
It
can
was good when I
visualize it
got
quite
there, I
well.
swear.
No.
Well, okay.
There you go.
There you go. We
That was
have.
sex week.
I've had one hell of a support week.
Have you?
Yeah.
Does it have anything to do with sex?
A little bit. No.
Then moving on. No, go ahead.
Well, I'm sure some of it was in the maternity ward. We've had this production issue that's been really, I'm not going to say mind-blowing, because it's not even close to mind-blowing, but it's, I'm just trying to figure out.
Ass blowing?
We've been running smoothly as long as I've been here, which is like 7 months now. Can you believe that?
I've been at
And-
this job for 6 months.
And we've had plenty of problems, but none of it has ever been the database.
Mhm.
And I mean that. And all of a sudden, the last 2 weeks, it's always been the database. Started out as funky little things, getting some bad execution plans from somewhere, right?
Mhm.
So I free proc cache, and everything clears up because we've got so much code in there that it could easily be ad hoc or SP, and there's so much. There's no way we could snipe it while everything's down, right? While everything's running so slow. I mean, within just 5 minutes, we back up to 300, 400 print jobs in the queue and stuff for printing and input and output and all that stuff. So it's really not something we could sit there and try to snipe. So we just dump the cache, and things start getting new plans, and within just a couple minutes, man, things are moving well, right? So there's that, and the last 2 days, the issue has switched from just that. Are you kidding me?
Speaking of problems, he's actually going to have to take this as effect because...
No, I'm not going to take that.
No, it's okay.
So the problem has actually switched from that to, what do I want to say,
Database problems.
to stats problems. We've had to update the stats like 5 times a day. I mean, it's ridiculous. We've got a job to update stats every day, but now we've had to do it 5 times a day just to keep the place running.
Stupid question.
And
have you checked for known issues on that? Because that just sounds like one of those.
And I've asked the user base again and again and again for even things that are insignificant. How has the pattern changed? Right?
Sure.
Has the pattern changed? Are you guys? Did you bring on another facility and not tell me? Are you doing some kind of, mid-year, third quarter report? Are you catching up on? Are you entering in big things from another system? Because doing a conversion system, are you doing something that's making this? Everybody swears them down. Absolutely nothing has changed. But yet all of a sudden, we're having and I can do anything I want, but it doesn't clear up until I redo the stats and then recompile all the SPs, and then all of a sudden, boom, everything just works like a champ.
Let's have a little mini lesson here, Sean. So tell me, how do you know when you need to recompile your stats?
Well,
tell the viewers at home.
There is no flag that says you need to recompile your stats.
You can't set up an alert.
Well,
recompile stats.
No, I mean, really the way you do that is you look and you see when
that plugged in.
You look when the last time was that they were compiled.
Pardon me, won't you? I'm listening.
So you look at the last time your stats were recompiled and you say, yeah, it looks like your stats are out of date, right? It used to be that that you could get it and then tell you that your stats were out, but anyway, I'm just saying. What's the word in the
you giggled earlier. Perhaps it was a chuckle. Perhaps not.
A lot of side conversations. We got
a boring one.
Guy says Lawden suggests you have a problem with parameter sniffing.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
And he also, for some reason, wants to see both Jen and Wendy in leather or something.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll vote for that.
Did you want to see us both in leather?
Uh-huh. Why not?
Well.
Together. In my hotel room. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, dude, is parameter sniffing was the first thing that came to my mind, which is why I was just dumping all the plans all the time, because there was no way I could find out of all the SPs and all of the ad hoc we've got, there's no way I could have found the offending one during the time, right?
Right.
So, I was convinced it was parameter sniffing, but now with the new stats issues, I'm wondering if it's not necessarily parameter sniffing. I'm wondering if it's being driven by the old stats. And now the stats have changed. Now the data itself has changed, but it still has old stats. So it's getting the plans that the stats think it needs, right?
Stop saying stats.
Why?
I'm just saying a lot.
Okay. But anyway, it's getting the thing that the thing thinks it needs. See, that just doesn't work.
It was a joke, dude.
Smurf.
Uh-huh.
Marklar.
Marklar, yes.
Marklar. You really got too much Marklar in your Marklar.
Yes, I do. Yeah. And sometimes the Marklar isn't being Marklar often enough.
Well, I mean, if you re-Marklar at every Marklar, then you're good.
I see.
Well, can we talk about pass now?
Yes, we can talk about pass now.
We're going to pass.
Oh,
we're gonna do
there
fun,
you go.
We're going to do fun things at pass. You want to know one of the fun things that we're doing at pass?
What is one of the fun things we're doing at pass? It can't drive me crazy.
We're having inappropriate pass sessions on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And man, we are a whirl in the creative eddies that is all the stuff that we can do with this. Okay, long and short, for those of you who are unaware, first off, it's too late.
For those of you on Mars.
Well, no. Yeah. First off, it's too late. registration filled up in what, 4 hours, was it, guys? About 4 hours?
That sounds about right.
And this came from Kendra Little. It was her original idea. If you go to her blog, which I meant to look up beforehand, but I didn't, then you'll see her story about it. But she tweeted, "Oh, we should have an inappropriate past sessions event at Pass," and then she made it happen. And we said, "Hey, that sounds like something that we're uniquely suited for." Well, you're just not going to help me, are you?
Sorry, I've got to reply to this work thing.
Oh, okay. So anyway, so you talk to me. So we're doing
I
inappropriate.
was going to draw a kitty, but
So we're doing inappropriate past sessions. It's going to be a few people doing 5 to 10 minute segments, and then Sean and I will judge, and we'll have prizes, and that's the long and short of it. But oh my God, we're already getting these suggestions and these topic submissions that are just, this is going to be really interesting. Originally, I'm going to be disappointing again. I'm sorry. Originally, I had thought that we should live broadcast it so that everyone that couldn't be there, and then I started realizing a couple people wrote me and said, "Well, you know, I think people aren't going to feel free to open up and be as raunchy as they want to be if this is something that's going to be video
On the
at
internet.
all." And
Yeah.
so
Well,
we're gonna do our best, I think.
And I got to get their backs on that.
Absolutely.
Now me,
You don't give a shit.
no, it's not that. It's that, I mean, and I do give a shit because there are companies out there that are, we'll say, conservative.
Absolutely. My company is reasonably conservative.
And mine is reasonably conservative. Mine advertises their conservatism, right?
Mine is just conservative by nature.
But and we don't want anybody to get into trouble over this, right?
No,
Now I'm putting my name on this thing boldly out there because I'm very proud of this kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that.
You don't want a video floating around of you up there going.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't, you know, the cool people, and you know, we're gonna say, well, the cool people are invited, right?
Well, everyone was invited.
But you know, I mean, it's just one of those things that you know, a lot of people could get into trouble, and I don't know how the MVP committee thinks of this kind of thing and all that stuff either, right? But
we are going to take steps and try to be
yeah, but
community.
You know, but everybody's going to be cool about this, and you know, and I'll get up there and I'm going to do my best, and I'll be, you know, and I'll put my name on it, and I'll put it on my site and everything. I'll tell everybody that I was one of the organizers and doing the thing.
We are a thong level sponsor.
Nice.
Kendra came up with that. She is the freaking bomb, I swear to God. She came up with the idea. She put together all the details. She researched venues. She did this. She did that. Yeah. But yeah, she is really the bomb. Really on top of all this
Nice.
stuff. And
she
she
doesn't
just
watch our show, does she?
I don't know. I think she ever has. And she's got one of our T-shirts, like on the. If you go to her Twitter page, it's a picture of her in one of our T-shirts.
I see.
So good on her.
There you go.
So yeah, we're really, 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 really excited about the inappropriate past sessions.
Yeah, I'd still like to rebrand it,
I don't know.
but that's a good working title.
That's a good question for the masses, guys. Sean wants to rebrand it. I mean, everyone's calling it inappropriate past sessions. Is there something better?
But that's
we
not
can call
very
it?
catchy.
It's not short enough to put on Twitter, but we came up with inappropriate to put on Twitter. I haven't finalized it yet, but
Let's see, what were the ones I came up with today? I was just throwing around in my head.
I don't know if I still have them on here, and I certainly don't remember.
It was past underbelly, past taint.
sequel ass,
Somebody else
jackass.
had come up with, there was Blue Sequel and like Bad Kids of Past and things like that. But it's like, none of that really, it
I had the other
captures,
one that you liked that I don't remember right now.
none of that really captures the essence of, they're just inappropriate. They're not all going to be raunchy. Well, I don't want to give away any submissions because people are going to be like, oh, it's a good idea, I'll do that.
Yeah, exactly.
But that just captures the
What was that
essence of
other
the
one
whole
I had?
thing. It's not catchy, but it's what it is.
Yeah.
So, anything good coming out of
The Interpropass, Innopass, sequel POS,
the
Badass Pass.
Badass Pass?
Mm-mm.
No.
I had past gas.
How about Who Pass?
What was that other one? I had pass.
That's a good one.
Faux Pass?
I had past taint.
Faux pas?
Yeah. Nobody likes Woo Pass? Really? Open up a can of Woo Pass?
How about
Because
not?
it's woo!
How about non-pasteurized?
Thou shalt not pass.
Passless chaps.
That's not too bad. It's a nice pun. It's not a good.
No,
for
I
the
know
thing,
it's not
but-
good for the thing. Anyway, since you're sort of fading or something, huh?
I don't know. I got a long night ahead of me. Something I wanted to talk about last weekend.
One of those.
Yeah.
Here, I'll sit here and look bored.
This is a complete topic change. Are you finished?
Go
I'm
ahead.
going to stab you in the throat with a pen.
That would be really good TV.
Oh, let's try.
No? You
Anyway,
wanted to talk about something.
you know, I get this question from time to time, and this sounds like it's out of left field, but last week when I had it on my list, it wasn't.
Are you okay?
It's for me to know and you to find out. I mean, how bad do you want to find out?
Go ahead.
But I get asked from time to time, not very often. You asked the last. You alluded to maybe I could do something to finally get into BI.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
You said that.
No, you said that. I see. So finally getting into BI, and I was just like, you know what? I am so beyond BI now. I do SIS, right, and I do some SRS, but as far as actual BI, and that stuff is considered to be in the BI track, and for the exams. But really, when I think of BI, I really think SAS, right?
Yeah, it's an awful lot more than that.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
Because it
But-
actually encompasses SAS, SRS, SIS.
that's what I just said.
No, I said that.
Oh, damn! I get us confused.
No, go ahead.
So,
You said
But
you
yeah.
think SAS.
but I've had cubes and SAS and whatnot just beaten out of me. I've gone to so many jobs where the promise of getting to really get involved in that stuff was
Yeah.
dangled in front of me, and then those projects never go anywhere.
Yeah.
And
I've seen
so-
it. It's a
Yeah.
sad thing. He will get a new job and read up on it and get excited, and it never happens.
Yeah, it never happens. And so, you know, I'm just like, you know what?
A couple
I'm
times they actually took your book and burned it in front of you.
Yeah, I know. As it turns out, I'm a production guy, and that's where I'm going to stay. I wouldn't mind dabbling in that stuff every now and then sometimes, but
I like passe.
as it turns out, it's just not going to be a big thing. I'm just not going to be a big BI guy. I'm going to remain BI curious.
Well, that would mean you're not BI curious.
Well, I'm still curious. I'm just not BI practicing. I'm just not going to do anything about it.
So you're sort of BI closeted.
I
BI.
played around with BI in college a little bit.
That's BI tolerant.
Yeah. I'll be
Nice.
BI tolerant.
Nice. Score one for Freddie.
Yeah.
Well,
So anyway,
I'm sort of being edged in that direction with all the SRS work that I'm doing, and so forth and so on. And I'm getting more interested. I think I might actually attend some of the sessions at SQL Saturday BI Dallas.
God, I'm teaching 3 sessions. You're not gonna. I know you're not gonna come to any of mine.
Maybe not.
Yeah, probably.
I forget stuff a lot, so going to your beginner sessions, that's actually probably a good thing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What else you got? Because I didn't bother doing much of a list this time.
Oh really?
Well, I do have a couple of things I could do.
We'll do one of them because I've been talking a lot.
Yeah,
I could
you
use
do
it now.
that. You just don't care anymore. I took time out this week to do one. No. I'm gonna back off of that and do another one.
Yeah, but you did it 7 times.
Wait, what? Yeah, so, help desk tickets. This is my little rant. We've been bitching among ourselves in our little IS department in my work that users just don't
Oh God, with the
Understand.
tickets again. That's my rant from
just
like
don't
months ago,
understand
man.
for the prioritization, because everything is a critical. Everything's a level 1. Critical means your ass better be on fire, or the server's on fire, or your
The server
dope
caught your ass on
is
fire.
on fire. And
Anybody get that one? Oh, I'm sure.
oh, I hope so.
Nick
And,
should be on top of that one.
That's what she said. And you just made me lose my place. Oh,
Ass on
and,
fire.
And the report that you need done by Friday, that's at a normal or even a low-level priority, which is called there's medium and there's low at 3 and 4, right? Or medium and normal. But because you don't want to prioritize anything as low. But yeah, man. So so we all got sick. So last week I got yet another request from a user saying that they needed this report right now. It's critical.
Jesus.
My ass is on fire. And so I wrote her back. I changed the priority. I wrote her back and I said, you know, we generally like more lead time on this because critical means we're supposed to get to it within an hour. And she wrote back and she was like, oh yes, I know. I'm thinking, okay, great. So user educated, right? Wednesday, she writes me with another ticket, criticality level 1. I go to my boss and I say, how do I kindly tell her, et cetera, and in speaking about this, we determined we had never actually explained to users what the different priorities are. So I sat down and I made up this very, very nice chart, red at the top, with an actual picture of a flaming server in the red critical flaming server, and it actually said, examples, your fucking server's on fire. Only without the fucking. And you know, level 2, and explained everything, and the colors got gentler and nicer as you go down through the ranks. So I sent that out. So I get home today, and I get a message on my my thing here saying,
you guys at work are going crazy. You're gonna be here at 1, right?
saying I need this such and such report. No, it was an actual office move. I'm moving offices sometime next Friday. Critical level.
You know,
kill me in the eye. What does it
my
take?
last gig was like that, and this really drives me crazy.
And I don't care. I can go in and change it, but it's just like
crazy
really?
In the sense of kiss my ass kind of crazy, right?
Mm.
Somebody would think of a report that would be decent. They go, oh wow, that would be really cool, and all of a sudden, the business is going to fucking fall down and cave in and close, and everybody's going to be out of a job if they don't get that report right goddamn now. And that used to just,
Which is
and we used to go, I used to go
mentality.
around, I used to go around and around with them about that. Guys, this company's been around for over 100 years. I think you can live without this report for 2 more days. Because this jagoff thought of it, doesn't mean that the business is going to collapse if you don't get it.
I've got a couple more things on that. One, one of my guys in my team is kind of pissed off for me because we had another training event where I had sent out a nice, very concise, very clear summary. I think it was actually one of the. No. It was how to continue printing now that everything has changed. Step 1, step 2, step 3.
Yeah.
And
you got to do it like that, don't you?
Yes. And ever since then, they keep getting requests. And how do I can't print anymore. What's wrong? And every single time he sends my document back, and he's been asking people, you know, did you get the email? Did you read the email? No, I just deleted it because I didn't know who it was. That's one.
Did you go to school?
Did you work last week? Did you try to work last week? So, what was the other thing?
It's too long to talk about, but put it
Too
on
long
there
to talk
for
about,
the
but
recording
while I'm
version.
talking, everyone go and look this up.
Good luck with that because we don't have good luck with signs on the show. It didn't show up on the recording.
Well, xkcd.com/806. That's easy
There you
enough.
go.
And, what was the other thing?
We need to get like a real
Oh.
blackboard with white chalk.
The other thing was that, so this happened. So I got the second request from the user, and instead of doing the user's request, I made up that nice color-coded chart with the flaming server, right?
Right.
Well, earlier in the day, I had gotten a different request about a process that is fairly time-sensitive right now. But I hadn't finished that one up before I sent out that color-coded chart. So I got an email from a VP today explaining to me how important this process was, and while they apologized that they can't get me all the lead time I needed, I was like, oh, dude, no. That chart was not in response to your request.
Yeah.
Your request is legitimately time-sensitive. And he didn't say anything back, but I'm not going to worry about it.
I have a good topic.
Tell me your topic. I'm done with mine.
I would like to tell everybody about the fabulous PowerShell I wrote this week.
What a fabulous PowerShell you wrote this week.
What a fabulous PowerShell.
Fabulous!
PowerShell. So anyway.
You know, you're not going to start a trend of people doing that,
I know,
David.
right?
You're not going to see that.
Impassable, huh?
Impassable.
So anyway, one of the things that we have is we have application environments, right? So we have like our big application takes up like 10, 15 servers, right? Somewhere along the way, when slowness starts, it could be anywhere from the Citrix boxes to the database to the web server to the one of the middle box. It could be anything, right? And so the problem is speed to resolution, right? Because they have BMC, but BMC doesn't give you the overall health of that entire application. So what I did was I wrote a PowerShell that goes to all the boxes, pulls the relevant perfmon counters from every one of them, and then gives them to you in a single table display on the screen. And so at the top of the thing, I've just got a list of the boxes, and it just cycles through every one of them, puts them in a little table, and it just boom, gives it to me right there. And I can sit there and go, okay, CPU is high on that one, and the disk queues are high on that one. And
that sure sounds like the kind of thing that would be useful if you put it out there on a blog for people.
I'm going to,
okay,
but I'm talking about it now.
No,
Here,
that's fine.
let me recite the code for you.
No,
You guys
no,
can just pencil it down. Do I sound like a moron to you?
I'm just saying this is the kind of thing that you always talk about and then you never put out there. And
I always put those things out there.
Make people flock to your thing. Well, some of them.
But I actually, I've got two methods for doing it. Yeah, exactly. But I've got two methods for doing it, and the whole point is I want to discuss. I'm going to discuss them both in detail, right? And I can't believe I can't remember if I want. I can't shut up. I can't decide if I want to put them on my blog or if I want to do them on TechNet because I'm being invited back to TechNet. So, but probably on mine because TechNet doesn't like me to be as wordy as I like to be. Oh, shove it. Well, I can't even think. You're sitting there in front of me like this. Anybody think? Anybody think? I can't even think.
That's not my fault.
Yeah, I know, right? But anyway, but it's just a wicked cool script, and actually, it's easier than you think, but it's also not as easy. Once you have the answer, it's easier than you think, right? But PowerShell doesn't make some things really, really easy.
Yeah, that's what I hear, mostly from you and a couple other people.
So most of the stuff pretty good, but really the methods I used for doing this are like, oh, okay. Once you get that down,
the okay method,
it's not that bad. But I'll discuss all this in the blog. But it's a very useful script, so I really want to put that out for people because just think about how fast you can get to a resolution when you've got multiple boxes and you can just ping the perfmon counters on every single one of them and say, oh look, it's this one, and not only speed to resolution, but cut all that bullshit out of your life, right? Having to go to each one of the boxes.
Cut the shit right out of your house.
Or like having to open up whatever tool you use, whether it be SCOM or BMC or whatever, and look at each one of the boxes individually. You can just get them all as a group, right?
Wow.
That's good stuff, dude.
Good times.
So anyway.
All hail you.
It's a fabulous script. And,
stop saying fabulous. No.
It's a tremendous script.
Say it some more.
It's some more.
You're really bringing me down. I'm sort of doing this.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm tired. I didn't get the nap I was hoping to. I only slept for like, what was it, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, something like that.
I don't know how long you slept.
Yeah, it wasn't very long at all. And I'm just, it's going to be a long night.
Utterly random note. My mom got the kids these things, and they're called fazzoodles. Well, I think it's absolutely adorable. The 2-year-old calls them fuzz noodles. I think that's more accurate.
I liked it.
I really
like
do.
That.
I really do. But so I walk into the bedroom.
Fuzz nuts ate the blue star.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone? Okay. So yeah, you get a bunch of these basically pipe cleaner things, and then you've got like potato head style eyes and arms and stuff, only with hooks, so you can twist them up and make faces and stuff like that. And they come with these feet, different little feet and handbags and things. But I walked into our room, and for some reason, your bedside table.
It's because they were all on the bed last night when I went to go to bed, and I picked them up and put them on the table.
Lined up like that, and it's a little creepy to walk into the bedroom and see these 3 disembodied feet sitting on the table. It's apropos of absolutely nothing at all. That's my favorite phrase ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. Also, as long as we're just faffing.
We're not. I was going to finish my topic.
As long as I'm faffing, this is my pink alligator. That's all I got. Carry on.
Okay.
I like you.
My last topic of the evening. Along with the PowerShell to do the multiple things, I'm a big believer, and guys, you guys can do this for your own shop. And you know, I don't call them performance dashboards. I call them like troubleshooting dashboards. A nice web interface that goes out and to your different boxes and does and takes the different things like the perfmon counters or SQL counters or ping status or whatever, right? And you can put yourself together a little dashboard so that you can easily see like You know, if you've got reports stacking up in the queue, right? You read the report queue over here, and then read the thing over here. That'll tell you what's going on. You don't need all of these fancy products that do very little for you, because none of them will give you a dashboard like this anyway. That's important to your set of boxes and applications, right? Because like an SRS queue, right? How many are stacked up through the SRS queue, or how many are?
You know, the people that make those tools are going to be really delighted with this particular rant.
Well, good. I'm glad they are. Then up your tools, okay? Because I don't.
That's an insult. Up your tools.
Yeah, no kidding. But I don't cater to vendors like that. If your tools aren't up to snuff, then bring your tools up to snuff. Period. But so many of them won't let you do stuff like that, like, you know, freeform SQL here and Windows counters here, or, you know, there's a file missing there or something like that, right? You can do anything you want, but I'm a big fan of those types of dashboards. You can go to one place and go, oh, okay, I can see the problem is here. I mean, why screw around for 35 minutes trying to find the problem, right? And anybody can do that. You can have your not guys go up and say, if it's this, then do that. If it's that, then do that. And don't call me unless everything else fails.
Absolutely.
I want to hear what the chat sphere is saying.
Tell
It
us.
says Sean does it both ways. I think that's a response to
Yes.
how you're going to present the PowerShell.
You know it, baby.
And that was Nick, Norman Klein, says Sean wrote it. It must be awesome sauce.
Most of your
So,
scripts.
Fans,
I'll say most because, you know, I'm just covering my ass, but most of your scripts are pretty awesome sauce.
who has 2 thumbs and fans?
You? Me? This guy?
Yes.
Wow. So anyway, yeah, but it's a nifty little script. I love that PowerShell. I've only had it written for like a day, and I absolutely love it already.
Good for you. I have. We'll end the show off with a viewer question.
Okay.
Wes Brown asked me actually, since
What the hell is with Sean anyway?
since this is my second year at PASS, I've only been to one before. What am I going to do differently this year? I'd kind of like to expand that out into what's our attack plan this year, because we go at PASS full barrel. I mean, seriously. With the interviews and the giveaways and the thing, we're doing even more this year. So, what am I doing differently? Well, I'm presenting for one, and I'm doing a lot more. But
You notice how she's presenting?
so anyway, you wanna talk about the things that you're excited about for PASS? You excited to be seeing Denny again?
I know, he's my baby.
He's a cutie.
He's my baby.
Yeah.
I'll be glad to see Grant again. I haven't seen Grant in a
I
while.
know, he is. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Grant is one cool motherfucker.
Yeah, Grant's a cool dude.
You
You should listen to your buddy Grant.
He's a cool dude. Yeah, he's on the meetup page. He's in Inappropriate Sessions, and he's got his picture up of him standing there. And I'm trying to remember what his shirt says, but it's a real cool picture because it's facing up. He's got a sword over his shoulder, and you're like, okay, but yeah. So he's really looking forward to chatting with us at PASS,
Yeah.
unrelated to the sword thing.
Yeah. I'm not crossing swords with Grant.
So all right, so Grant, yeah.
So that
he's a hoopy fruit who really knows where his towel is.
He is one hoopy fruit.
So yeah, then we got to talk with Dan. I'm looking forward to that. I always like talking to Dan.
Yeah.
Danielson.
Yeah, son. Dan
And
boy.
Of course the big session. I'm looking forward to that.
Yep, our big appropriateness. That's gonna be the bomb. I feel like swearing a lot today. And are there any actual sessions that you're looking?
I haven't looked at any of the sessions. I don't know what they are.
Topic-wise, anywhere you're leaning?
Well,
Cloud?
Yeah, I know, right? I'm looking forward to the MVP stuff on Friday. And I think I'm going to skip the MVP stuff on Monday. But I'm looking forward to the Friday stuff because it's on...
Can I go in your place for Monday?
Sure, why not? And...
It's like we're the same person.
What else am I looking forward to? Yeah, I don't really... As far as
Pipples, mostly.
As far as sessions go, I'd like to see some of the really large server stuff if they have really large server stuff. But yeah, I'll just have to take a look at it and see. Because I do two different things, right? When I see a session that looks really good, I always see who's teaching it because you know, if it's somebody I've never heard of before, I'm like, I'm more likely to see a session I'm only kind of interested in if it's somebody I know gives a good session than something that sounds really good by somebody like, who the hell is this guy? Because most of the time I've done that, they've turned out to be crap.
For stuff like that, it seems prudent to go out and see if they, you know, if they blog and you like their tone, if they this and you like their tone, if they have any videos up, that kind of thing. That's going to be kind of my game plan. I'm a little bit not nervous, but I'm a little like because we've got so many interviews we're lining up where the only time available is during the day.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't necessarily count on going to any particular session.
Right. And I am officially, and I can talk about this too, by the way. I am officially at Birds of a Feather. I'm teaching I'm
been retweeting about that.
I'm heading the PowerShell table, and I am going to be at the admin and security / PowerShell Ask the Experts booth down on the carpet.
Ooh, that one I didn't know.
You did. Oh, I get it. That was a joke. But anyway, so I'm going to be down on the carpet probably for a 2-hour shift, I think.
Nice. Do you know what day?
No, they haven't given the schedule yet.
And one of the things, and I want to get some input on this, and we'll probably wrap up here in a sec because it's getting late. One of the things that I want to talk about is we've got this nifty, we each have a Droid now, and we have this lovely Ustream channel, and we have the ability to do live coverage from any given event now. And this is something we really want to take advantage of, and we haven't really nailed down for ourselves
exactly what that's going to be.
Because, I mean, you know, it might be fun.
Maybe we'll film after our session some people talking about it. We'll interview some people after the session instead of the session itself. What did you think of the
session? Sure, like some of the lead up and then some of the after and that kind of thing. But not just that, but it would be nice to do, like, schedule, if we could, regular viewings throughout the day. Say we would be broadcasting live at this time, and this time today.
Right. Come find us and get a shirt or something.
Yeah, well, not only that, but I mean for the people at home as well. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Well, if you're at home during PASS, you don't deserve to see our show.
I'm not just talking about the show, damn it. I'm talking about the week of PASS.
I know, me too. You don't deserve to see us if you're home during PASS.
I beg to differ. Anyway, that's what I got there. So send us
begging?
feedback, and if you're RSVP'd already for the inappropriate PASS sessions, then send me your session submissions, and it will be taken under consideration. Jen@MidnightDBA.com. That's all I got. How'd you like that?
I'm going to try to make that one catch. Okay.
It's not a trend.
Hot call.
No.
Yeah, no, that was even worse.
All right.
And you think mine was gay?
Show me the way home, honey.
Party on Wayne.
Party on Garth.
Before we talk about the interview, I want to go on my little rant.
Jesus, man. I lobbed one over the fence and you screwed it up.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm right.
Can I get on it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. No, it'd be a problem. It would be a bug. Oh my god. So anyway,
okay.
this vendor, it just pisses me off when they assume not only that when our customers go to the vendors first when you've got perfectly competent DBAs upstairs, right? Yeah, this one.
I actually have to look something up because I just realized.
And two, when I ask the vendors a simple question, and this is always my rant, right? When I ask them a simple question, like, what are the data what are the recovery requirements for this database? And then they start explaining to me what backups mean and why you need to back up databases and the different ways you can back up and what the recovery models mean. And I just sit there and just go, like aggravating a cat, right? I mean, that's exactly what it's like. I just sit there,
His ears start slowly folding back.
The only problem that I have with both of our rants,
Is it Tom Penders?
no, not at all, is because our advice is always to go out and get a DBA. But look at the cornholes we hire all the
My,
time.
what a nice segue this is.
I know, right?
You gonna hit it this time? Wait a minute.
It's Innuendo Night on DBA's at midnight.
Just gonna sit here and turn red for a minute. Go ahead.
So anyway, we're always telling these companies to hire DBAs, but man, look at the turd holes that are out there. So this guy, oh my God, except he wasn't funny at all. I would ask him a question like,
kind of like my dog.
yeah, exactly. So okay, so I'll do my best. Okay, so like, ask me a question.
Okay,
an
so
easy techie question.
What's the difference between VAR and VARCAR?
Oh man, see, I don't even know where you're going with that. That's an interview question. Okay, so yeah, I don't know where you're going with that because VAR and VARCAR, I've seen them before, I think, but
Are you kidding?
no.
Oh my God!